Hello, once again, dear viewers, and welcome back to another Moonflower Tarot reading. And today I'm going to be channeling messages from the higher self of a future romantic timeline, a future romantic counterpart, and any messages that would like to come through regarding this transformation cycle and regarding this next partnership you are entering into on a new romantic timeline. And if this is finding you at this time, then this message is for you. And this is a timeless and general reading. So just take whatever resonates right now, because I think there's a lot of different energies coming through. And also just bear with me while I'm still recovering from something I have been dealing with and am still facing technical difficulties. So there might be a little bit of a gap in between uploads. And just bear that in mind as I am trying my best to keep on top of uploading, but there's a lot of messages that really wanted to come through, so I'm going to honor that. So with that, let's get into it. We're going to be taking a look at you in this current energy, as well as your partner, and what is the contributing factor between you, what lessons you're learning in this relationship, and why this timeline is being set in motion right now. I'll also be taking some messages from them in regards to this relationship, or just general messages they have for you, as well as advice for you on how to approach this coming up. If some of you have been asking, or you've been looking for someone, whether it is romantic or friendship, this is mostly I'm looking at romantic counterparts, but there could also be a soulmate connection. So take it if it resonates. There was a lot coming through, though, about some of you might be going through a part of your life where you are letting go of a lot of exes, dismantling old relationships. Maybe you've dealt with, I'm going to say trigger warning, maybe some more narcissistic relationships that were a little bit more harmful, let's say. And if you've been used to a certain type of person, or you've been attracted to a certain type of person and you're healing from that and moving on, it feels like you're not going to be dealing with that anymore. Someone who is like you inside and out, maybe even spiritually gifted in the ways you are too, maybe even clairaudiently. I was feeling some of you do have some spiritual gifts, a clairaudience, maybe clairsentience, clairvoyance. Have you been awakening to that, or just highly sensitive in general? I feel like some of you might have also been coming from my previous readings, because I was feeling different aura. Like I can sense auras. Some of you might have, or your partner or person has a very distinct purple, white, blue, and green aura, and I have seen that pop up in some of my other videos. I will be transparent and say that my aura has often been described as very light blue and white, and that is just has to do with certain types of gifts that we often associate with different chakra points. And if yours tend to be stronger in the crown, you're probably going to have more of a serene, like purple or blue and even white aura. And this person who's coming in, if they're new to you, they will definitely resonate at that frequency. And it's kind of hard to find people like that out there in the world, especially if you're used to a certain type of frequency that you're dealing with people who might even mask some of their wounds. And if you're the type of person who's like a wounded healer archetype, you might feel the need to save everyone around you, especially since you're coming from a place of such love. Some of the synchronicities and signs you'll see surrounding this connection, relationship, or person is an affiliation or a love of nature. I'm also hearing wanderlust. You might like to travel a lot, or just feel like you don't really know your place in this world, so you go out a lot and try to search for it. But it's really just you feeling at one with yourself, like maybe even across different countries. It's kind of, I feel like it's kind of a little bit harder now to be traveling a lot, but even if you're just in your area, if you live in the woods or rural area or even in the mountains, I'm seeing just finding a way to get out in nature and hiking would also bring yourself closer to you and might even kind of cross paths with this person, or you share some sort of common interest and hobby. Some of you might be taking up yoga classes, or you do yoga with this person. If you're clairaudiently connected to them, you might be either feeling spiritually music around you or hearing music, or you just feel a little bit more closer to certain types of songs. Like music kind of evokes a deeper feeling or sensation in you, and there's this knowing of like a song has a significant meaning and it's coming from the universe. If you feel like this intense feeling that you are spiritually connected, this might be a sign that you have someone who's also very spiritually gifted connecting with you in a specific, this is very specific. Some of you might understand what this means, some of you might not, but it really just has to do with being very deeply, profoundly sensitive to others and connected spiritually to the divine. I was also seeing the floppy eared dog emoji. Some of you might even be getting dogs, or you will get a dog together, or you just have this puppy dog type of love. I was also seeing palm trees. You might like to go to on expensive vacations or holidays. Depending on where you live in the world, maybe you have palm trees around you, or you go on vacation or holiday to different types of tropical places, resorts. If you have the time and money to, I would suggest going out, whether it's with your person or even friends. It just feels like this person is going to be very, very sweet on you, or you're just sweet on them, and they reflect that type of puppy love. Any songs I receive, I will write in the description below. I might not be able to link them at this time. Um, so I'll write them down if you want to look them up. The overall vibe musically of this relationship is Dandelion by Ariana Grande. It's like this person is almost like a wish come true. What you want wants you, what you need needs you. There's this type of mirroring effect too. You might also trigger each other, or you might both be coming out of very toxic relationships at the same time and meeting each other either after that or as you are releasing your ex, because I was also receiving songs about some sort of heartbreak you sustained or they sustained, and just being very wary of that to let your heart mend. Because the Dua Lipa song, Don't Start Caring About Me Now, came up. Yeah, you really are just so done with these one-sided relationships, and it doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. It could be a toxic relationship with anything, a thought pattern, an addiction, a behavior, or even a job or a workplace and friends. Like all of that contributes to how we act in the world and our happiness. And this person is going to help you find joy again, because you're going to be able to be yourself thoroughly and not be afraid. And if this is the type of romantic connection you've been looking for, then I just want to congratulate you and, wish you the best, because that's not easy. You might have had to harden your heart and place really strong boundaries if you're not already doing that. If this doesn't resonate for you and you're not coming out of a toxic relationship, this is just going to be a very special one. Some of you might not have had that experience, and you're just entering into a phase of puppy dog love, and this person is just going to let you be free to be yourself, whether it's for a long while or for a season, and that really is up to you. But they really respect you, and I'm just getting the sense of respecting your boundaries as well. The song Treasure by Bruno Mars, treasure is what you are. You're my golden star. You might be even drawn to stars or even astrology before you meet this person, or you just have this affiliation with like wanting to look at the stars, star charts. Maybe as you go traveling, you look at the different constellations around the world during different times of the year. You might even identify as star seeds, but And yeah, because the song Diamonds by Rihanna or Sia came up, were beautiful like diamonds in the sky. It's like you and I are shining together in the darkness of night, and I think that's very beautiful. So let's give more context for you are okay. You you are the sunshine. You are their sunshine. Woo. Okay, we love to see it. You do have this. Okay. Okay. The reason why sad, mopey, um, cloudy day people are drawn to sunlight energy is because they don't have they have the need for the sunshine in them, but they don't have the capacity to hold space for it. If you identify as someone who's come from a toxic narcissistic relationship, or you just been surrounded by people who take advantage of you, they see that light in you, that you can replenish it and you can self-soothe, or in some way, in some capacity, you have that love in you, and they keep coming back to you because they're a black hole. They lack the capacity to hold that space. I like to think of people who just are incapable of holding that light that is poured into them, or seeing the light in themselves and others in the world. I refer to them as black holes because that's all they are. They suck the light out of the universe, out of themselves, out of the world. And it just feels so exhausting because that's what they do. They drain your energy. And it's not necessarily their fault. But when you're around them, it's like you feel that shift, that this coldness, this like there's no light coming out from this thing, only stuff going in. And unfortunately, that's what it's like to be in a one-sided toxic relationship, whether it's, harmful or not. It's just someone is taking from you, and it's not fair. And you have this beautiful light. You are this golden sunlight energy, and you deserve people who pour into you. Like, that's why I like to think of like a true equal exchange romantic relationship as being like a binary star system. If we're looking at like cosmology, it's like in a binary star system, it's like you can coexist with someone who shines as bright as you. It's, of course, it's not going to last forever. Nothing lasts forever, but it lasts a very, very long time. It lasts a lot longer than a black hole. And I know it's like not a perfect analogy, but when you're pouring into someone else, you want them to pour into you. That's the nature of the universe, is perpetual creation and unconditional love. And if you're surrounded by people who cannot love unconditionally and only take, that's not good for you or them. Like, the world gets destroyed, and you deserve better than to have your light taken advantage of. So let's see if we have the energy of this person or this relationship coming towards you. um there's a possibility. Let me get a clarifier for this. Okay, so we have two fives. Okay, they might be the person coming towards you who has just gotten out of a very bad romantic relationship. One of or both of you have been dealing with one-sided relationships. You might have, you maybe have experienced and healed more than this person has, or they're still kind of fighting feelings from an ex relationship. Even as they're ready to move on towards you, there's still this feeling of maybe inner conflict. Like, and it's not towards you. This person is feeling this on their own, and maybe they have trust issues. Um, yeah, because okay, uh, I heard Hootie in the Blowfish song. I only want to be with you. I heard the phrase "the dolphins make me cry." Um, Miami Dolphins. Okay, I don't think that's what he was referring to in the song, but it's like this person might be just very sweet and very sensitive. Okay, I'm seeing their aura is definitely more. Okay, their aura is more gold, like solar plexus and sacral. They definitely have gold orangey, which is very much matchy to your frequency. They want to be with you, but there's something inside of them that they are kind of overcoming and they need to move on from. And it has nothing to do with you. And in fact, I think that might be why this connection is happening. Like, this connection is happening to help them overcome whatever they've been through. I'm gonna see like if I can kind of get more about what this connection is going to teach you, what you're going to learn, or why this connection is happening. Because sometimes when we're manifesting someone, we have to tap into, okay, how do I explain this? Because this form of manifestation of another person was explained to me a while ago, because people have free will. It's not the same thing as like manifesting a car or a bike. Like a bike or a car can't say, "Oh, I don't want you to have me or buy me." You know, it's an object. Like it's easier to manifest a job, a career, like money than it is to manifest a human being. So you have to tap into like basically you have to get God's permission and the higher self of this person to agree, and you form what is essentially not a karmic contract but a sort of an agreement between the two of you of what you're going to accomplish and why this is coming in and what it's going to heal. So I just want to see um, what that energy, what that agreement, you want a happy life and a happy wife or husband. um oh yeah, you want happiness. You want that. You really just want a stable foundation. You want to, okay, Little Shop of Horrors, somewhere that's green. You just want you dream of somewhere that's green. Like you just want to be happy and living that life. Just this almost like domestic bliss. And it doesn't matter like what you have in this world. If you have each other, you're happy. And I think your souls are both in agreement that it's time to like, you want to settle down. You want to be happy. You want to be okay for once in your life. And if you share in a spiritual practice, it means you both will be kind of healing and overcoming like whatever wounds that have brought you together, because I'm getting a lot of music. You are going to connect with this partner definitely over music or songs you like, and you might be hearing a lot more songs as you approach them. Because I'm getting bombarded with a lot of different songs. I'm not going to link them all below. I'm just going to say them, and if you know, you know. But there is this song from Muppet Treasure Island, and it's a scene where Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog are no, bear with me, are dangling over a cliff and they're singing "Love Brought Us Here" or "Love Led Us Here." um, woo. And I just heard the phrase, hold on. I heard the phrase, Miss Piggy can get some, and I'm like, what the frick does that mean? Hold on. Um, ooh, y'all. So if you've ever seen the movie Muppet Treasure Island, that's also a sign. If you both like that movie, that this is a sign that, you know, you're definitely meant for each other in some way, shape, or form. You're either Kermit to their Miss Piggy, or you're their Miss Piggy to your. I don't know. It's not that relationship dynamic, because even that relationship is kind of toxic a little bit. You are not going to be exactly like that. Let me say. Um, but it's the vibe of love let us here where we belong, but you're kind of in dire straits and in need of someone to be there with you, just singing along. You might even like the Muppets, because then I just got moving right along. Footloose and fancy free. You might like traveling together, going across the country to California, becoming a superstar. I'm getting off track. This is very jarring, but your relationship dynamics, once you get through whatever is like maybe bogging down your energy, or what, if once they get past that stage of being like hesitant to trust and they learn to trust you, it's going to be very free. And you're just going to teach them that it's okay to trust a relationship. And they're going to teach you that love does actually exist out there. There exist people who do reciprocate that very passionate type of frequency. And I think both of you need that. The collective needs that type of healing. Like if you spent your entire life surrounded by people who don't treat you very well, and you learned actively to mistreat yourself, it's not going to be easy to move on. Some of you just might be a little bit more healed at this point, or just know better, or at the very least to have overcome a lot of what's happening. And you're going to be very open and honest. There's a need for transparency in this relationship. And you can help them clear a lot of their doubts by just being very honest, being vulnerable, like, and showing yourself to be that beacon of hope, but not like in the way where you like have to be their cheerleader, and if they're sad and mopey you have to cheer them up. No, this person just feels like they've been hurt because they have that same type of very maybe passionate, highly sensitive energy as you, but deep down inside, they've been kind of burdened with this knowledge that not everybody is going to like that. And not everybody is going to be like them. And maybe there was this fear of unmasking in the past. And I think the challenges between you are going to go away very quickly the more you just be yourselves authentically and show each other that it's just okay for you to be you and shine that light, because you do have similar types of dynamics maybe within, and there's a sense of reciprocity here that hasn't been seen before. um, I'm gonna get actually a message from them. Okay, exclusively, okay, there's just something that's coming through exclusively for you. I need you to do me a favor and just focus it on you for now. Okay, so a message that's coming from them is that they want you to focus on you. They want you to just focus on your energy, cultivating your starlight, cultivating your light, and freeing yourself from the shadows of others and loving yourself, even your shadows. Like if you've had to overcome this fear of, being a little bit too light, too needy, too clingy, they just want you to know it's okay. You're a puppy dog in a world full of cats, and not all cats are mean. Like some of them get along with dogs, but you got to know that cats like their space and they like to be aloof. And maybe you were just surrounded by feral cats who didn't know how to behave, but you can't save a human being who acts like a feral cat because it's kind of dangerous. Like it's safer to save a feral cat and give them a chance to know that they're safe and trust you in a home. But when you're dealing with a human being who doesn't know how to behave like a grown ass adult, you don't want to have to save them. So if you're overcoming and clearing from that, focus on you and be the best version of you can be, and just come back to a sense of self. So I'm going to just take a look at the messages this person has for you right now. It's too, okay, I'm hearing entertain and celebrate every small victory. Every day is a winding road. That's Cheryl Crow. Every day is a faded sign. I get a little bit closer to feeling fine. Every day is a winding road. So there's this, the process of healing is enjoying the journey and not really seeking a destination, because healing is an ongoing thing, right? So celebrate each day's small victories. Each day, you've done something right and you've done something well, and you're getting closer to the sense of stability within and feeling okay and feeling fine. And that's kind of a place of contentment that we all need to be in order to heal, because our nervous system needs to know it's safe. Our mind, body, and soul needs to know it's safe. Um, Reading outside the lines, outside the box, thinking. You might be required to step out of your comfort zone and try a different way or approach to something. Healing, their message to you is just to really continue to focus on you and celebrate the fact that at certain points in your life, you could have taken a wrong turn towards a dark direction, but you chose you and what is best for you, and your empathy and kindness won out overnight. Overnight, whoa, okay. You might have, okay, you might have gone through a very drastic change recently, and it might have been like night and day. There's something about you being right now in this King of Wands energy, because I'm seeing actually, I forget, I think it's a salamander in the Rider Waite, excuse me as I forget how to speak, the Rider Waite tarot deck. The rider wreck. Woo, we are a nervous wreck. The rider waite tarot deck and the king of wands, there's a lizard or a salamander, because I know the salamander I associate with this with a element of fire. So there's very much a fiery spring like energy to you. You're just very refreshing. You are just, you have this vibe and soul of a sunny day. And like, okay, so I got this image of a very green pasture, and like the smell of green grass and just very floral. If you've been having dreams from another life or memories of another life, it might be coming to you because there's something you need to clear or something you need to remember about who you were before this life happened, or even something from your childhood is coming up. For some of you, you need to reconnect to a part of you that was a childhood expression of love. Do me a flavor and be you. That's the main message coming from this person. Some of you, if you like to hike in the woods growing up, or you like to climb trees, like if you're not able to do that, I wouldn't suggest doing it, but just even being out in nature in some ways, because I'm just seeing someone hiking through the wilderness and just being in the tranquility of nature, and there's not any noise around them except the energy of the woods, the forest. It's about reconnecting with that part of you and tuning out the noise of the world around you that seems to be in despair and dismantling itself. It's about cultivating that space of inner peace and allowing time for it to settle in before like running back into the world, or don't avoid reviving that hidden part of you because the world taught you to reject it, or fear it. There's nothing to fear about being in that state of childlike joy and whimsy. There is nothing to fear but fear alone, and that's just something that exists in our minds. We create fear. Fear does not exist in the universe. The universe is just a thing. It exists. It's neutral. We apply judgment to it. If you're here cultivating this place of peace, you're coming from a place of neutrality and deciding, do you want to see the beauty in nature, or do you want to fear the unknown? Are you going to climb up that hill so you can see what's on the other side, or are you going to stay at the bottom because you're afraid of what you'll see? And so while you're in this space of transition from one phase to another, from one timeline to another, take an opportunity to overcome that fear and just see what's on the other side of this, because there's no harm going to come to you just by indulging in the part of you that you might have lost, because the world is like, you shouldn't like that. And it feels something as simple as just going outside and rolling down a hill, going outside and saying hello to a bug or smelling a flower. Like, part of us was taught it's foolish to do that. It's childlike. And it's like the people who say it's childlike have a wounded inner child who behave like petulant children, basically. Okay. The spirit said petulant brats. And it's like, okay, wisdom and reason tells me, yeah, people who are stuck in that wounded childlike mindset are going to dictate everything that you like and do as being stupid or inconvenient. And it's like, that's what the wounded child says. The wounded child in a wounded adult will say what you like is foolish and stupid and you shouldn't like it. That sounds like a child on the playground being like, I know what you are, but what am I? And you shouldn't like that. It's stupid. They're for girls. Like, it's like that. It's that attitude of, you want to play around in this playground called life. You want to, paint on this canvas or paint a mural with a bunch of other people of your own species. Whoa, okay. And you might, yeah, you both are very highly intelligent, highly evolved spiritual beings in a world filled with children masquerading as adults. And I get that feeling, family, I get that feeling. And you choose to love them because you kind of want to love children, even if children don't love each other. You kind of have to be the bigger one and walk away. But as I was saying, life is about collaborating, and you just need to be with someone whose inner child will allow you to live your life and to create your life in a way that is you, and they too want to help you with that. And that's the biggest thing that they just want you to know is it's okay and safe to be you and just enjoy that part of you. And I think that whole, if that little tangent about being a wounded child is triggering in some way, I think if you still have those tendencies, it's not your fault. And if that's still in you, just remember that the world kind of sees no place for the purity of childhood. It is very much filled to the brim with the toxicity of childhood, which, yes, children can be kind of mean. I mean, some of us had bullies growing up, and so we know how to face them. And, you know, some of the bullies were bullied at home too by their parents who were bullied as children. So where does it end? So I think you do you, you celebrate you. They want you to know that, like, they're approaching this relationship, you know, understanding what it's like to be hurt, but understanding that they don't want to hurt you either, that they really just don't want to get hurt again. And let's see what advice spirit or they might have for you regarding um so this is about deep transformation. Let's say you are both undergoing such deep transformation. We have three fives. This is about change, sudden drastic for some of you. This might be just not a whirlwind romantic relationship, but this this relationship might actually come out of nowhere for some of you. For some of you who I'm hearing are refusing to heal because you don't see how, okay, this might be for some of you. Take it with a grain of salt. If you're triggered by this, just bear in mind I am a messenger. With peace and love, I say, if some of you are refusing to change and expecting people to do the work for you, this is not going to be easy. Someone is probably going to come in who matches your needs and wants, and they're going to force you to see the world through a different lens. And if that's the case and you refuse to change, this relationship is not going to change you or change for you. It's probably going to be dead on arrival. So I just want to warn you, if you're approaching this relationship and you don't want to change and you don't want to see eye to eye with this person, or you don't want to live any differently or see a possibility of living differently, then this relationship is either not going to last or not for you. But it might sound ridiculous if you feel like, oh, well, I don't want to change. Why should I change? Everybody else is at fault. It's like, just because people have hurt you doesn't mean that you haven't contributed to the relationship in a certain way, because it doesn't mean you hurt others. It does mean you are responsible for your actions and setting boundaries and, you know, limiting your contact with people you know are not good for you. That's still your responsibility. That's on you. You contribute to your own pain in that case. And if you blame others for how, you know, if you blame others for your actions and your actions alone, that's on you to change. I know this is a little bit difficult. Not all of you are going to resonate with this, but some of you might have a problem with refusing to see yourself as being a problem in a relationship. And what I'm going to tell you is, as a very long-term people pleaser fawner, I realized very recently, especially with a lot of spiritual activity going on around me, that I was a problem in a lot of my own relationships. And so far as I was refusing to set boundaries because out of fear, because in order for the relationship to survive, I had to have no boundaries. If I set boundaries because the people around me were disrespectful to me, and if I set a boundary, which was a sign of respect for myself, they would get angry. Like, they taught me that I should refuse to respect myself, that I can't say no to them, and that I have to give in to them every childlike demand. And the more I said yes to them, the more I was betraying myself. That the moment I realized that was my pattern, it was on me to change. And I might be thinking, well, I'm saving them, I'm helping them. It's the kindness of my own heart. That was still my problem. I was still going to run into people who would take advantage of me, walk all over me because I refused to respect myself to say no. And the moment I said no and they were like, well, I don't need you, I realized that was not a relationship. That was a trauma bonded, one sided, toxic type of transactional business exchange. It was not a relationship. Relationships are not transactional and one sided. When you say no to someone and then they decide you're not a person in their life, well, you were never a person to begin with. You were an object. And that's a hard thing to hear. But in order to heal, you have to learn. And I'm just saying from example, like I made that mistake like for so many years. And I kept blaming people like, why is everybody around me so different? Why am I so different? Why can't I make friends? It's like I wasn't making friends or being in relationship with the right type of people. I was in relationship with people who didn't respect me and didn't allow me to respect myself. You deserve respect. And if you can't change, then that really is just your own state of mind limiting you from having a happy life. If you feel like that's what's happening to you right now, if not, then disregard all that. But some of you might have needed to hear that, because when it comes to setting boundaries, it really is just about respecting yourself. And I will reiterate, the people who don't respect you or don't want you to respect yourself are going to discard you. And that's a good thing. You are seeing their true colors. You know they're not good for you, and they say they're not good for you because they're like, bye. And it's like, why would you want to be a friend of someone who treats you like a toy? You're not an inanimate object. You're not a doll to be thrown in the trash. Like literally, Toy Story, Andy treated his toys better than some of your freaking friends or your family or your love, your ex lovers, and you deserve better. You're not a bad person, by the way, for refusing to change. If any of you out there are having trouble, like it's up to you. You don't have to change at all. You don't. But for this relationship that's coming in to work and exist, you have to continue to want to change, or else, this is going to help you grow. This is going to help you overcome what happened in the past. If you refuse to move on from what happened and stay stuck, it's not going to last, because one or both of you knows you need to change, wants to change, and this relationship is providing you with that opportunity exactly. So if those of you are in that situation, I just want to send a lot of light and love and gratitude, and just out of respect for you, just know that what I'm saying is for you to hear and use to the best of your knowledge to help you along your path. And you don't have to do anything. Don't force yourself to change if you don't want to. Understand that if you do want to change, these relationships come in to help you. And it's up to you whether this lasts long or not. I'm not the one to say. At the end, it's your choice. But you really are going to come back into this time of very refreshing, positive energy. There's a lot of passion here. It's just about finding that space within you to balance out and revive the part of you had to lock away. So I wish the best of luck to all of you, because it's not easy to overcome a lot of those patterns within. And, to just admit where you might have been wrong, just know you're not a bad person. Like I wasn't a bad person for, how I might have been in a relationship, even if I was toxic, even if I was like toxically positive or was resenting people for, I taught them how to treat me and I accepted it and I didn't say no and there were no consequences. And then I resented them and that wasn't fair to me or them. But you know what? Love yourself, because it doesn't matter what you did in the past. It doesn't matter even if, either. It doesn't matter how toxic you were. You can move on and choose to be better, because you are still a beautiful, loving person. Learn to love yourself for that, for your faults and overcoming worries and fears of meeting someone new. Because if you feel like you can't change or you don't deserve someone, it's not going to be. But you do deserve love. You do deserve light. You are not a bad person. So I don't want you to worry about that right now. Some of you might need to get a worry stone, or like a crystal that you can kind of rub if you're having a little bit of trouble, maybe with fears, overcoming anxiety. Maybe invest in the amethyst or some sort of a obsidian. But anyway, that's the messages I have for you. I really hope that this helps you on your life's journey, and I wish you the best in this next romantic timeline. And I will see you in another reading.